Every registered voter in California got a mail-in ballot, and they are getting them back. A historic number of people are voting early in California. So far, more than 1.5 million people have already returned their vote by mail ballots. But some people say they feel uneasy about voting by mail. ABC's Mary Alice Parks breaks down what you need to know if you're thinking of sending in your ballot.
Without presenting any evidence, President Trump has repeatedly claimed he does not trust states to handle mailed-in ballots.
They're going to be rigged.
Who knows where they're going? Who knows where they're coming from?
Though he and other members of his administration vote by mail, Trump has claimed an increase in absentee voting could lead to fraud. But experts say it's just not true.
There is no evidence that widespread or systematic absentee voter fraud is a real phenomenon. There are a lot of back-end checks to be sure that if there is an error at some point along the process, it is detected.
Local officials, including many Republicans in charge of elections, now pushing back.
Ohioans can be confident casting their ballot absentee.
We have the security and we have the record to show that it's a safe and secure way to vote.
In 41 states, voters have to request an absentee ballot if they want to vote by mail. Republicans say late policy changes could create security issues, while Democrats argue, due to the pandemic, states should be making it easier for people to vote by mail. North Carolina and dozens of other states now let voters track their ballots and get notified if there's a problem.
Having that tracking tool is going to be what we hope is the reassurance to voters of how the process works.
Voting rights advocates agree voting by mail can allow more people to participate.
For many people who work multiple jobs, who have childcare or other family responsibilities, it can be really difficult to show up in person to cast a vote, even if you want to.
The downside? This year, Americans might have to be patient for results. Most states have never processed high volumes of mail, and many states do not allow officials to even open the envelopes before Election Day.
That means we're going to have to accept that delay does not mean cheating.
Former Democratic gubernatorial candidate Stacey Abrams is now leading an organization fighting voter suppression. Her advice for nervous voters?
Number one, don't panic. You're going to hear a lot of crazy things, but we've had a democracy in the United States for 243 years. It worked during the Civil War. It'll work this time. Number two, make a plan to vote early.
The website vote.org is a great resource for checking the status of your voter registration and learning more. The fact is there are a lot of tricky rules and different deadlines in each state. Our recent polling suggests that President Trump has politicized this issue of mail-in voting, so more Democrats than Republicans could easily vote by mail in key states. And that means that late votes, ballots that are received by the states later in the process, could skew towards Joe Biden. And that's a reality that campaigns and experts are preparing for. Mary Alice Parks, ABC News, Washington.